Alright, this is going to be game number 2 in our first round of our Platinum bracket. And the bottom left we have our pink Protoss, Heartland Hitmen's Holt. And on the top right we have the red Zerg, Lexel's BlackHeart. And yes, I do need to actually explain how Holt got command of his forces. This is very important. If I can just bring that up very quickly. Where did you go? Oh, please don't I actually have this up. Ah, there we are. Okay, this will explain everything about Holt.
Holt?
Oh. Commissar Holt. I have heard the stories of your ineptitude and have seen the devastation it has brought. Your failure could cost the Imperium this world. You are no longer in charge. Choose your next words with exceptional care.
Maybe you had better take charge of the troops for a while, Commissar Holt.
Alright, that is the story of how Holt came to Neoplanet S and is taking control of this Protoss army. Ignore the fact that it's Protoss, not Terran, but that's okay! We are seeing everything being nice and standard. Don't worry, you haven't missed a thing. Looks like to be a Forge Fast Expand. And a Forge first and not a Nexus first. Thankfully for BlackHeart, he is going for Pool first, so he will not be going Hatch first and into a Cannon Rush to the face, which is always a problem when you do go Hatch first. So I do need to move this mic. Please let me know if the sound is suddenly too loud, or we are still good. But the mic was bumping into the cord, and that is never a good idea. Holt now having gotten this Nexus down for Gateway, and ooh, now that's interesting. Holt has blocked this natural, so BlackHeart has said, screw it, I'm going to take my third anyway, I might as well just take that first. A couple Lings coming down will clean out this pylon. The question is, will Holt be able to know that this third is coming up or not? So far it looks like the answer is no. Natural is now cleaned out. Base is now getting up and running. 6 Zerglings on the way. A little bit unusual to see that many Zerglings out so early for the Zerg. If that wasn't obvious, because Zerglings are only for Zerg. No gas either, so no Zergling speed. These Lings are very odd. This cannon will be able to hold them off very well. Then again, if he can get 4 Lings up into the main, they can actually cause a good bit of havoc. And this gateway is not actually going to be finished, but all these Zerglings are now being a little bit indecisive, not able to actually go anywhere or do anything useful. That could have all been drones. Is now going back into economy. But that is a little bit of a hit for our Zerg player. 2 cannons up for Holt. Does detect a little bit of shenanery coming out. So both players have invested a little more into defense and units than they would have liked to if they had been able to just gone for pure macro unmolested. And as you know, a Zerg molesting a Protoss is never a good time for the Protoss. Lots of Zerglings still going about searching for those probes, and oh, they will just run by that probe. I don't think he actually even saw that. That probe is the luckiest probe ever. Will get out just fine. Gases are going down now for BlackHeart, taking the gases at his third. Also an interesting decision. These gases, this third now is basically, he cannot sacrifice his third because of these gases. A lot of times you will see a Zerg take gases at his natural, but the third, a lot of Protoss pushes will take out a Zerg third pretty handily, or at least they're designed to do that. So putting so much investment into this third is a bit unusual. Overlord will scout out just about everything that is going on, which isn't all that much that's exciting. Stalker is on the way, we'll be able to eventually chase them out. Chrono Boost going down on Warp Gate and the Stalker. Does really want to get rid of that that Overlord and all that vision. More gas is coming down now for BlackHeart. Still none in the main. That is less unusual. What's more unusual is the gas is at the third first, but not a huge deal. No spines or spores. Lots of lings, and speed now for lings is finally coming up. So these early lings will finally get a little bit of actual use. You have a sentry on the way, and is there any tech? Ah, here comes gateways and robos. So we're going to have 4 gates and a robo coming down for Holt. Holt might actually be going for an immortal sentry push. So popular, and for good reason, because it's so freaking good. He is getting that +1 attack, which is supporting that theory. And just lings are not what you want against that kind of an attack. Alright, there is a bit of a problem for our Zerg. With all that early investment, he has been down on drones, now just starting to catch up. And with that third base and that extra saturation, he might be getting a bit better of a lead in terms of actual income. But our Protoss has been absolutely monstering out his economy. 10 more drones on the way, so that will close the gap very quickly. Roach speed on the way, that's definitely an interesting choice. Evo chamber is out, but no upgrades are going to be coming. Lots of lings going to be poking, and not really getting much done. Speed is out, so he will be able to poke and prod, and see what the Protoss is trying to do, which isn't all that much just yet. Observer coming out, no immortals, so there is a pretty healthy amount of sentries, but no immortals coming out, so not looking like that immortal sentry push after all. Lots of overlords congregating here. Would like to see them spread out a little bit, get a little bit more vision on the map. And another Evo chamber coming out, and he is going for ranged attack. So he has upgraded his Zerglings to get speed, but that's about all they're going to be used for. It's just a little bit of scouting, maybe a little bit of counterattacks. Not much else. He is going to be going for those roaches, possibly hydras. And by possibly hydras, I mean he is going hydras. Still no gas in the main. That might be a little confusing for Holt's Observer. Is also getting a bit of a bank. We'll be curious to see what he spends all that on. Alright, do have some Animortal coming out. But again, not enough to make that actual death push that all Zergs everywhere fear. Just lots and lots of Zealots, and Zealots with that +1 attack. He's seen the lings, so he knows that those Zealots with the +1 attack will absolutely tear through them. And is there any more tech at all? There is the Twilight Council, but that is about it. Lots of cannons in the back. He is preemptively guarding against Mutalisks, and these Mutalisks are not coming. There are no Mutalisks. Lots of Zealots in the top at the third. They will be going for a lot of drones. Will be kited around by all the ranged Zerg units. A little bit of hold position. Micro will get a couple of drone kills. 9 drone kills at all, not bad, but I'm not sure if it was worth it for that investment of Zealots. Not a whole lot of actual, real, lasting, permanent damage against our Zerg player. 10 more roaches on the way. Hydra upgrades on the way as well. We do have Zealot Charge coming down with an Immortal. Very interesting. Armor on the way instead of +2 attack as well, looking for a bit more durable of an army. And more expansions from BlackHeart. Protoss Holt needs to do something about one of these bases at least very soon. Needs to put on some pressure, or needs to take a third of his own. But on Neoplanet S, this third for Protoss is a nightmare to hold just because it's so far away from the entrance to your natural that you can split up the Protoss army as Zerg very easily, and holding that third is just absolutely atrociously hard. Lots of roaches coming in, giving a little poke. Some hydras there as well for some support. Lots of Immortal Sentry, but it's a little bit late for that push. Or is it? Does get a time warp down, is not going to commit though. He needs to get out of that choke, and he does. He can now actually fight in the open a bit more to actually get more things firing in and helping actually attack and get those force fields to give him the concave advantage. which is what he needs so badly. 17 more drones on the way for BlackHeart. BlackHeart is absolutely monstering out. Lots of Lings coming in. They will get a beautiful surround, actually, and the Zealots are running in to try and chase them. But the Roaches and the Hydras were not there to actually support them. Mothership core so close to going down. The Hydras just need a few more little volleys on them. The Zealots with charge will run in there, do a ton of damage. And will they actually be able to take that? They will take out. The Protoss will break out of this. Few Immortals have gone down, but he will break free, and the supplies have evened up significantly. Protoss does have a huge bank. He needs to spend that money. Absolutely needs to spend that money. Needs upgrades, needs more gates, needs something to actually be able to get rid of all that. Needs to work in Colossi, some tech, some Overlord kills down here. Very nice. Looking for a bit of a counterattack to this 4th base. He does need to do something about this 4th very soon. But the reinforcements from the Zerg are going to be pretty swift. But the Zerg is coming down here. He does see those Stalkers here, which will poke and prod. All this army is down here, which means none of that army is up here. All these Overlords for vision are now getting taken out. They needed to be in a bit of a safer spot on this high ground here, perhaps, so that Mothership core will be able to spot it, as well as the War Prism. This 3rd is now in trouble. Fight down here. This will be cleaned up. The Stalkers will be taken out, but that's not the problem right now. He needs to actually move in, and he is going in. He might be able to force field off this ramp down here. It is a very large ramp, but those sentries can get down just in time. He might be able to split up the Zerg army, but no, the force fields are not there in time, and they are around. They will block off some of the army. The Zerglings will be cleaned up, and this army does now have free reign to actually go on this 3rd. What is it attacking, though? He is getting a little bit ADD, and he does take down the hatchery. That was absolutely huge. Needs to keep the Zerg on 3 bases at the bare minimum, or I suppose at the bare maximum. Lots and lots of Roaches coming in, being funneled in with those force fields, all of them going down, plus melee attack on the way for our Zerg player. Sees that there's no splash damage, so suddenly Zerglings are a much more attractive option. Single lone Zealot, and this Stalker, this hero Stalker, 5-kill Stalker with 2 HP and full shields, has actually not been dealt with. And this is actually doing so much damage. Another huge attack of Zerglings, but the Time Warp and the Force Fields will allow the Zealots to clean that up. And still, they are attacking this hatchery, and this Queen has no help. These drones are not helping. Nothing is attacking. This hatchery is just being pummeled by this tiny, tiny army. And this huge attack right here will actually just go straight for the natural. This is going for the kill move. Protoss way ahead in supply. Both of the players with a huge bank, but there is the GG from BlackHeart. Holt is victorious, 2-0. He will take the series.